Okay, hi everyone. My name is Melissa. I will be guiding you all on the things to take note for NEHR. Okay, so there will be a few of the changes in NEHR where once you're on board NEHR and we turn on the feature, okay, there will be slight changes. Okay, so I will also explain on the changes and also what to take note. Okay, first thing is as you all have received through the emails and everything, we reminded the everyone to download the MCAS because the moment once the NEHR feature is turned on, we will actually activate the 2FA, which requires the MCAS application through your mobile phones. Okay, so once it turn on, the 2FA will be implemented is due to security purposes for in coming future the NEHR implementations. The first thing that the clinic will need to take note is that the type of NEHR data contribution that you will be contributing up. What you will be contributing, these are the 6 data type. First is the patient visit, which consists of patient bio data and also the visit doctor detail. That means the doctor's license number and also the doctor's name and so on. Okay. Second is the patient medication and prescription. That means the medicine that is dispensed to patients. Okay, this one will be submitted up. Third will be patient CMIS record. This one is the patient allergy, which I will guide you all on later part when on how to do the tagging for the allergy. Next will be the patient diagnosis. And then will be the fifth one will be the patient immunization, which is the vaccines that are dispensed to patient. And last but not least is the patient referral. For patient referral, it is only applicable to Healthy SG clinic only, meaning clinics that are using Healthy SG module through Clinic Assist. So this referral, they will be submitted up to NEHR. Okay, clinic all will also need to take note the moment you are onboarded NEHR, it is a compulsory to end day. Because once you end day, only then your data will be submitted up to NEHR. Next will be the types of data submission. Okay, firstly is the patient visit. One thing that you all will need to take note is that during the registration for a new patient or existing patient that come and register, please do ensure to check their physical identification card. Okay, so make sure that their identification card is the same as the one that you have already registered in Clinic Assist, which is their NRIC or FIN number, the type of identification, make sure that the name is correct as per NRIC or the FIN, and also the date of birth. Why? Because NEHR, they will actually do a validation check for every submission on patient detail. Next, do not queue any dummy patient into queue log, because once you end day with dummy patients in your queue, they will actually be submitted to NEHR. That's why NEHR, as what we say, NEHR will do validation check. If let's say that they detected that this is a dummy patient, NEHR will start to question why clinic start submitting this kind of dummy patient. Okay. Example of a dummy patient is you can see at the bottom here, test patient, which is the name, and then the NRIC is a random number, and followed by the date of birth. Date of birth, which is a unknown date of birth, a random date of birth, which have an irrelevant age. Next will be the patient immunization. Do make sure that for the drugs which clinics are dispensing, especially vaccine drugs that are meant for private patient, because for CHAS vaccine, usually this one all already been tagged with the vaccine because you all will submit the CDMP and the CHAS. So down here, no, by default or by clinic's procedure, down here will confirm they will be tagged with the vaccine. Okay, but this is also to let you all know, in case if you are afraid that your vaccine is not tagged, you can actually go to your inventory, to the drug master, and you can go and select the vaccine and click on edit. just to find out how to tag this vaccination. Make sure that this is already been tagged, because for some clinic, let's say that they create their own vaccines for private patient, you will need to ensure that your vaccine here is tagged so that NEHR will be able to help you to submit all your the vaccine details up to NIR. Okay, one thing clinic will need to take note is that the moment you are onboarded NEHR, you will need to cease all manual submission to NIR, because NEHR will assist in submitting to NIR. Okay, so here, this is the things that you need to take note. First is to stop all NIR submission, because NEHR will assist in submitting the vaccination to NIR, including CHAS and non-CHAS vaccine. For non-NAIS and NCIS vaccine, NEHR will not route it to NIR because it is not needed, but the vaccine will be reflected on patient's Health Hub app instead. If let's say clinic were to do a vaccine CHAS claim manually via MSP portal, please ensure to untick the submission to in the submission to NIR checkbox, because this will prompt into data that will be bounce back as error. If let's say clinic were to submit to NIR, and at the same time NEHR want to submit clinic data to NIR. Okay, the next thing that you need to take note is on the patient diagnosis. You have to make sure that all patient visits are actually tagged with diagnosis, especially for health, even though for health checkup, there is also a diagnosis. You need to ensure that patient diagnosis must be tagged correctly, because if clinic tag incorrectly, they will need to inform NEHR first. Then only NEHR will route to us, giving permission to edit the patient data, where we will need to do a back-end patching and so on to submit a proper diagnosis for the patient. And also for chronic patient, you will have to remember to update the chronic diagnosis to a SNOMED diagnosis. Okay, for patient medication and prescription, one thing that clinic will need to take note is that it's for investigation and procedure item, such as like blood tests or those kind of like minor surgical tests, all these kind of thing, it must not be listed under the drug master listing. If let's say you have it in your drug master listing, do amend it right now by listing it under the investigation or the procedure listing, so that when you dispense to patient, when this data go up, it doesn't go up as medication. And another one more important one is that for consumable items and also COVID-19 vaccination, please tag to non-med, because these two items, okay, are not allowed to submit up to NEHR. For COVID-19 vaccination, submission is via the PRPP system. This is a listing of key resources and contact information for clinic to contact if let's say they have any inquiries regarding the NEHR, like the type of diagnosis, SNOMED code, all those kind of thing, or like your grant details, everything. You can contact them here. You can take a screenshot, okay, or you can record down. These are the contact details that you can find. Okay, so I will move on to the next slide. The next slide I will be guiding is on the CMIS. For CMIS tagging, okay, these are only applicable to patients with allergy only. How to do CMIS tagging? Okay, the first thing is that you can do the CMIS tagging via the patient queue log. That means your clinic exists your queue log here. You don't need to search all of the patient one by one. You can just search from the patient starting moving forward, where once the patient come to your clinic, you add them to queue, then you can actually update their CMIS. Okay, from the queue log, you can select the pen icon. If the patient with allergy, this red exclamation mark indicates that the patient have an allergy. So just click on their pen button, and then they will actually pop up the patient bio data. What you need to do is that you go to the Med Alert tab, you will see that there is a drug allergy. Do ensure to tag the patient drug allergy, okay? Such as like, for example, this patient is allergic to paracetamol, okay? And then we go on to the next one. After adding, you have to make sure that why we advise to be under the drug allergy, because if the drug allergy, this one is actually related to the CMIS tab afterward. If let's say you were to take to non-drug allergy, you won't be able to find it in the CMIS afterward also. But no issue. So I will just go on to the next one, which is the CMIS. When you go to the CMIS tab, you just click on the app button. What you will see is that the moment you go to the CMIS tab, there will be a blank page like this. So you just click on the app button, okay, and then they will actually pop up this small pop-up page. The yellow text boxes highlighted yellow in color is actually a compulsory text boxes, which is what everyone need to fill in, which is like the service provider, the drug name, and so on. So the first thing is that the service provider, you have to select a valid service provider with a proper MCR number. How to know that the doctor have a good proper MCR number is that you may go to the user module located at the side menu icon, more and the user, which is the user where you all will add your new user and also look at your existing users. Select the doctor. Once the doctor is selected, you can click on the drug name. Okay, there are two options to tag the drug. First is by this, the first one, the drug name, where you can tag it by the brand. The drugs listed inside here is actually given by the Health Singapore Authority, which is known as the HSA. So when you click on the blue button, you will realize that there is a listing here. You just go, you can either search by the drug name or by the brand name. By selecting on these two kind of filter, and then you search for the drug name that the patient is allergic to, then they will actually show here. Once they show here, you just click done by clicking on the save button. So after clicking on save, there is also another option, the second one, which what I mentioned earlier, to tag the patient to the drug allergy in the drug allergy column. If let's say you were to click this button, the second one, the pop-up tab that will come out is like this. This will only show that the kind of drug allergy that the patient is allergic to, which the clinic has already tagged earlier on in the allergy tab. You just select the drug and then you click confirm will do. If let's say we were to go for the option one, which is we tag through the brand name, it will actually show you that the drug is already tagged. You won't be able to select, tag like both the drug name and the other drug, because this one is either one. So once you selected either one, you will go to the adverse reaction. You can click on the blue button to select the adverse reaction. If let's say in the listing, they don't have the list that the clinic want, you can also type inside the box here as this is a free tag. So after selecting the adverse reaction, you can select the reaction outcome. By selecting the reaction outcome, you will just need to click on the blue button and then it will drop down a list of outcomes on what kind of allergy outcome that will this patient have. For the reaction outcome text box, it is not a free text, so you just need to select from the drop down from the pop-up listing. After you are done with the whole information here, you just need to click on the save button. Once saved, you will see that the patient will have his or her allergy CMIS be added here. If let's say you still want to edit, you can click on the pen icon to edit the patient's CMIS information. Or if let's say like you want to delete the whole thing, you can click on the trash button here to delete the CMIS record if you wish to create a new one. Once you're done, you just click on save and then the patient's CMIS will be saved. Patient CMIS, the drug allergy will only needed to be added once only. So that means if let's say patient were to come back again, but you see that there's already a CMIS and it's already the patient existing allergy, so you don't need to add more unless patient have a new allergy to a new drug. So that's all for CMIS. The next one. So first thing is that I will guide you on what to take note for the diagnosis. This one is mainly actually, I think doctors will be more familiar, as this one involves in the patient's diagnosis for the doctors. The first diagnosis tagging method, clinic can go from the Q log, and then you just click on the pen icon to indicate the patient biodata. So from the patient biodata, you just click on the CDMP charts. You can go to the CDMP charts tab first, and then it will show here the patient existing chronic disease. So the existing chronic disease is using the ICD-10 version. But once clinic have the NEHR feature turned on, you will start using the new version, which is called the SNOMED version. So how to use the SNOMED version? The clinic will first need to click on the pen icon to update this chronic disease to a SNOMED version diagnosis. So what you do is that after you click on the pen here, you just click on the update to SNOMED. When you click on update to SNOMED, they will come up with a listing according to what this chronic is, such as like this one is hyperlipidemia. So they will come out the SNOMED listing for hyperlipidemia. What you need to do is that you select the diagnosis and then you click on confirm. Once you click on confirm, you will realize that the chronic disease version will be changed to SNOMED. And then the difference is that down here, you will also see the SNOMED code shown here. The old ICD-10 will also still be displayed so that clinic will know what kind of diagnosis that they are tagging to. Once it's updated, you just click on save so that you can save the patient diagnosis. The second method is that usually this one for doctors, they will use to go to the case note first. And when they go to case note, if let's say patient have a chronic disease, you will usually click on the add patient chronic, as it is a shortcut for you to add the patient existing chronic disease. Once you click on the patient chronic, a pop-up message will indicate that the chronic disease is still an old version. So they will ask you to tag it to the new SNOMED version. So you just click on OK. They will come up with this list of diagnoses, which is the patient chronic. This patient chronic is still using the old ICD-10 code. What you do is that you just click on the arrow, and this will pop up indicating for you to select the diagnosis. Once you select the diagnosis, just click on confirm. And once you confirm already, the diagnosis updated will be added on the right panel. And then you will see that there is a difference. This one is the one that has been updated, and this is the old one that haven't been updated. So if let's say patient have 2 or 3 diagnoses that are using the ICD-10, you can update them one by one here also. Okay, the next thing you will realize is that there is a state here. The diagnosis state is a compulsory to select either it is final or provisional. For final diagnosis, it indicates that it is a confirmed diagnosis, and provisional state is for a suspected diagnosis. If let's say patient have multiple kinds of diagnoses, you can select all first, and then you will see that there's a tag all feature here. Tag all is a shortcut. If let's say that the whole listing of diagnoses that is on this right panel here is a final diagnosis, you can just click on the final button, which it will automatically set all to final here. If let's say like patient chronic is not, you all don't tag through the patient chronic. Instead, you search through the patient charts chronic here. You can also search like normal, how you all tag charts patients diagnosis. You can just go to the charts chronic tab and you can search for the diagnosis. Either it's the code or the description. Or another way is that you can search through the category. There will be a category listing here where you can shorten up the search. You can select on the category and search for the listing for the chronic one. Same thing goes for acute. Clinic may tag the acute condition as per normal. For all the acute visit, you can go to the CHAS acute tab. For the SNOMED for acute diagnosis, all will also be in SNOMED code. So you can search through the diagnosis either by the code or description also. Or another one is by the category. So once you've already confirmed everything, you can see here that the patient's SNOMED diagnosis will be added. Do note that it is compulsory to have diagnosis tagged to all visit because it is once clinic is NEHR onboarded, it is compulsory for all type of patient visit, no matter it's a health screening or it is acute or chronic, private or non or CHAS, all have to tag all have to tag their diagnosis here. If let's say like for health screening, there is also a health screening diagnosis available. For specific kind of diagnosis, you can refer to the NEHR team via this email so that you can get a more in-detail code on what to use for the diagnosis for certain type of patients. So that is all for the diagnosis NOMAD. So I will move on to the last slide. The last slide will be on the vaccine drug tagging. As I've mentioned earlier on, for all the vaccine, you will need to ensure that it is tagged as a vaccination drug so that NEHR will be able to detect it to submit it to NIR for you. How they will do the tracing is that the first thing is that you can go to your inventory, okay, go to your drug master. And then as you can see here, because some clinic, they will create their own private vaccine and some they will use the normal CHAS vaccine code. Okay, what you do is that just highlight on the vaccine and then you click on edit. You will see that the drug details will all come up. You just need to go to the vaccination tab and search for this vaccine. If let's say this one is empty, you can click on the blue button. It will give you a drop down list on the type of vaccine. You just need to tag it, and from here, NEHR will detect that this drug is a vaccination. They will help you to route it to NIR. So that is all for the vaccine drug tagging. So this is actually the key resources and contact information where you can consult for NEHR. For the data contribution, if let's say like you have any enquiries regarding the diagnosis, what to tag, and for purchase, patient that come and purchase medicine or what to tag, you can actually refer to this nehr.feedback.com at synapse.sg. This email. You can email them to this on inquiring on whether or not does patient that come and purchase medicine require a diagnosis. If let's say you were to do vaccination, make sure you do not route to NIR. If let's say you were to do manual submission via the MHCP, but if you were to do via clinic assist, then it is no problem. You can still do it as per normal. So if that is all, so now we are actually open up for Q&A session.